phones, and it's like, you don't like communication. You don't really want to touch. You don't want to, feel the person. So how did you develop that?
Well, everyone needs to slow down for a minute. There's a lot of things that go into this pizza pie. The first and foremost, of course, I'm dressed for your show. Kellen, you're my friend. I respect the work that you do. Besides wearing this for my office, if I were at home, I'd still dress for you. Just out of respect. And also, this is a serious business show, so I might be, communicating and relating to others that are in this position of myself that do wear a tie for a living. So I let you know there's still people out there that do this. That's number one. I will mention some influences early in my career because I always enjoyed speaking. I enjoyed rhetoric, delivery, people that moved you. If I may recommend 3 actors that really assisted me in regards to my performance would be Basil Rathbone back in the 40s when he was Sherlock Holmes with Nigel Bruce. His delivery was choice. I could only wish to be 1/10 of 1% of that. I also enjoyed Remington Steele, which was Pierce Brosnan's show in the 80s, and Templeton Peck, which was known as Face Man from the A-Team. These individuals were so cunning, so clever. Their vocabulary was choice. Their delivery was spot on. They had a smile. And, ethically, you could sometimes question what they were trying to do. But if you take away the ethics and you just look at the sort of self-confidence and composure, I felt that it was non-threatening. It was something that could be appropriate to the majority of the audiences and mediums. And also represent yourself in the best light. And there are certain times to wear a suit, but there is always a certain time to be respectful, diplomatic, strategic, and show active listening and engagement. And just by having these sort of skills, I was able to skip levels and bypass the chum in the water shark nonsense that most people are going for because they're not true, they're not pure, they're plastic. I could follow the rules, but there's always a special sauce, Kellen. I had to separate myself from the others. If not, I'll be judged accordingly. And so by standing tall and believing in myself, maybe making myself vulnerable for critique or feedback, I was able to withstand. And I stand by my own brand and who I am, because the way that you and I were raised by our parents and grandparents was the old school way. We put our phones down, we listen, we know our please and thank yous. We're extremely appreciative. And I've kept that sort of mindset in any sort of personal and business relationship. And it seems to remind people of where we once were and where we should be, because you just mentioned this phone and social networking. Put that nonsense away. God forbid we run out of batteries. What are we going to do? We can't talk. And so if you and I have the pleasure of having dinner one day, which happens soon, and it's on me, by the way, as much as you can eat sushi, there is no way I will be looking down. If you take your shades off, I'll even look in your eyes. But I will definitely have a wonderful, filled conversation with you that we can capture that moment, if that makes any sort of sense, Kellen.